We good to go?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order.
Be it resolved that the regular meeting of the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Assiginack be open for business at 7 p.m. with the quorum of members present and with Mayor Reed presiding in the chair.
So move for seconder. Okay, Robin, Dwayne. All those in favor? Carried. We would like to begin by acknowledging that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Three Fires Confederacy, the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi peoples of Mindu-Mincing. We recognize and deeply appreciate the stewardship and historic connection to this place and recognize that we must do more to learn about its rich history so that we will better understand our role as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers. And the agenda?
Be it resolved that we remove agenda item 6A, Friedland Caldwell Briley audit presentation at 8G Georgian Bay Geopark and adopt the agenda.
Favorite seconder? Dwayne and John. All those in favor? I remind you, of pecuniary interest, you may declare it now or at the time it arises and the general nature thereof. Go on to announcements. I just have a report on our Phenom conference. So we attended the Phenom conference in Timmins from May 11th to the 13th. We attended the AGM. We voted in favor of all of the motions, which we had discussed and passed at the council level. Then in the afternoon, we had a keynote address from Jamie Campbell. He was host of the Blue Jays baseball. He was well spoken and it was a good keynote address. IESO is the energy sector. So hydro energy is linked to the economy. Predictions are the demand will grow by 65% by 2050 and with Northern Ontario could be up to 80% due to mining and forestry. She spoke about Save on Energy program for homeowners. So that's something for everybody to check out if they're interested. And there's called an Accelerate program for wastewater facilities and arenas that we might look into. So the AI needs that there are predicted, they're already in the total predictions. That was asked if that would be on top of that, but they're already there. So, and the government is looking at policies for the big data centers. MPAC has no change. And we sat in on a really good preserving municipal heritage. They urged us to integrate cultural planning into our strategic plan. And to turn underutilized spaces into recreational areas. We sat in on one about cemetery closures. Again, that was really interesting. It would be more interesting, like we already are in charge of all of our cemeteries, so we don't have to go through what some of the other people are, but if the cemetery closes in an area, the municipality is responsible for it, no matter what. So they were just giving them that. One thing that they did stress is that we need to keep an eye on our prices to make sure that they're high enough to cover our costs and to look at introducing columbariums and scatter gardens. Seems to be coming into play. And we need to invest the care and maintenance monies. We need to invest them wisely and make sure that that money grows and stop spending the interest on it. There was a few other really good ones. There was one about recreation and safe towns and cities. And then Wednesday morning, we met with the Minister of Infrastructure. We were allotted 15 minutes, but we got 35. So that was good. They seemed very interested in what we had to say. Didn't really give us too much that day, did they? But we did get some names. So yeah, we're happy about that because it's the aides that you really need to talk to. So we got some aides and some emails, so we're happy about that. And since then, one of his aides has reached out to us to speak further. So I'll take that as a good sign. So yeah, all in all, it was a good conference. I think it was well worth attending. Okay, we have a public meeting to go into. Oh, sorry.
I
sorry.
had another announcement. Tomorrow evening, the museum board is putting on a volunteer expo. It'll be at the arena. And it's for anybody in the township who is interested in volunteering and maybe isn't sure how to to go about it or what groups they're actually want to join or help with. So there's going to be, I'm not going to remember all of them, but the Bodgemajig will be there, the Agricultural Society, Horticulture is going to be there, the library, the museum, Friends of Manitoulin Turtles, Girl Guides, there's a whole bunch of groups that are going to be there. So anybody who's interested in volunteering certainly may want to stop by between 5:30 and 8 p.m. at the atrium at the arena, and there will be snacks and door prizes.
Oh, sounds excellent. I hope we have a good turnout
I
for
hope we have
that.
a good turnout too.
Hmm.
Can I just take a step back on the one item that you brought forward with Phenom, and that's a scatter garden.
Mhm.
I don't think we've ever explored that with regards to our Philly Grove, but I'd like to learn more about that. And the notion of it, because we already have a columbarium in place.
Mhm.
It's gonna be taking cost-effective approach
Yeah.
to our expansion now, but the scatter garden sounds kind of interesting. I
Yeah,
don't know.
we've kind of been looking into them just to see how they are managed and stuff. So yeah, it's something worth bringing to council when we have enough information to.
Yeah, I've seen some provincial policies have changed on them as well that I didn't know about until recently as well, which I thought was good, so good.
Mhm.
Cemetery.
Mhm.
Yeah, anyway, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
saving space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Do you have anything, Greg?
No.
No,
Good.
okay. Okay. Then moving along.
The public meeting, be it resolved that we adjourn from our regular council meeting and open a meeting held under the authority of section 34 of the Planning Act in order to hear comments on proposed zoning bylaw amendments with Mayor Reed presiding in the chair.
Okay, mover seconder, please. Robin Ferdinand. All those in favor? Carried. Okay. I'll call the meeting to order. The item on council's agenda tonight is the holding of a public meeting with respect to the introduction of a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw 2024-10. What method was used to give notice of the public meeting?
Circulation of notice was by first class mail as per section 34 of the Planning Act in Ontario Reg 54506, and the posting of notice clearly visible on to the general public.
And on what date was the notice given?
The notice for the file was published on April 16, 2026.
Okay. So by my calculation is that notice was given 40 days in advance of the meeting, and this satisfies the notice bylaw requirement of 14 advance notice. So what is the purpose and reason for the bylaw?
A zoning amendment application has been received to permit an additional residential unit with the subject land having an increased distance from the existing dwelling from 50 meters to 411 meters. The request has been made to conform, to the municipal zoning bylaw, section 52C3.
Okay. Are there any persons present who wish to make oral or written submissions on the proposed bylaws? If so, would they please give their names, addresses, and postal codes to the clerk? Okay, so we will first hear from those in support of the bylaws, and then we will hear from those opposed to the bylaws. We ask that all persons wishing to address the bylaw, please direct their questions through the chair. And seeing none, the public meeting is now concluded, and thank you for attending.
Adoption of minutes.
Yep.
Okay, be resolved.
No, we have that action.
Be resolved that we adjourn our public meeting and resume our regular council meeting.
Okay, move seconder. It's Jen and Rob. All those in favor? That's carried. Okay. Now adoption of minutes.
Here's just building a little bit.
Nay.
Be it resolved that we adopt the minutes of the meeting of regular council March 24th and the minutes of the special council meeting of May 5th. 2026.
Okay, we were seconded, it's Dwayne and Jen. And questions or discussion?
I just had a couple from the meeting of May 5th. During budget deliberation, we had discussed the plans to, the making of plans to replace the trucks, the 2.5 ton trucks. Are you moving ahead with that, or
We have,
are we tendering it, or how are we doing
the simplest answer is I'll have a better answer for you next Tuesday. We have another option that we're still
it? Okay.
playing with, and if that falls through, then I think we're gonna have to put out a tender.
The other one was the answer from Streams regarding fighting Biden's climate change and the trade show. Did we ever get any information back?
No,
Anybody else?
Did we get a response regarding the stairs? Have we done the stairs?
we haven't heard that. The landscape architect.
All those in favor then? That's carried. We don't have reports for delegation canceled, so we'll go on to the actual fired items.
You have the notes,
Have that?
other notes.
What was that? Sorry. Oh, right, 6 feet, gotcha. It wasn't on my printed out, but it was on this one. Okay, then it has to talk about, speak about the roller mills. I'll just remind everybody, we have a really tight budget and we didn't allot any money for the roller mills in that budget. We can sit here and talk about it, or we can go out and just get some prices on different actions that we want done.
I think that we should find out how much it would cost just to take the siding off, but Rob had requested several times now that the windows be fixed, and I think that's something our own public works could do, could cover them at the very least. Somebody has thrown rocks through the windows, and they need to at the very least be covered.
Yeah, that request was made. I'll do that again.
And that's again, something that our head works can do. The siding that's piled up beside the building. I know some ratepayers have told me they've been picking up siding. Some have picked some up off the ice to try to keep it from going into the lake. It's an environmental concern at this point, although we did not allot any funds for it. At the very least, we need to look into what we can do with limited funds. And clean it up down there. Cause it's not looking very nice, and we're inviting people to our waterfront saying we have the most beautiful beach in Manitowoc. And then we have the building just rotting away. Even up in the tree, there's fire rat that's been stuck in the tree for how long? That's just simple maintenance, and why hasn't that been taken care of?
Okay, make that request again now. I'll talk to our road super about all of those.
For any big capital projects, right, as far as this year is concerned. But the roller mills is a historic building within the community,
Yeah.
maybe not by designation, but by awareness.
Mm-hmm.
It's played a big role in our early development, so I certainly believe in us protecting it. Even if we're not going to develop it, we should protect it. So yeah, the notion of fixing the window, yes, that needs to be done, and we can simply do that by bordering up. That's easy to do from the inside. The only other concern that I would have for the building, because I've been down there enough,
Okay.
outside of the siding falling off, it's actually falling off of existing siding. So we maybe have to look at that a little bit, because it's not necessarily seeing any, infiltration into the building through the siding that I would know of. But the crow's nest probably has some rotten boards where you could have water infiltration, I think, up there. And I think that would be, we'd be mindful to look at that. Because of course, that's the first big issue that would contribute to downfall of the structure of the building.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as we had that security, that could be a Band-Aid application for now. And once again, that would secure the asset, for a period of time, and I could maybe even look at some ways that we could tack something on that would protect a little bit from any infiltration.
I can have a meeting with our road super, and then I'll ask for a report back on everything that he's managed to do in this list and how he's remediated what's happening.
I agree. I think it's important that we manage to maintain the building for now until we decide exactly what we're gonna do with it. It is a significant part of our heritage, and I hate to see us lose it. And again, if we don't keep a roof on it and keep the water out of it, we're going to lose it. So, for the time being, I think the best is to get a report from our road superintendent on the type of damage that's done in the crow's nest with the water infiltration. And to get the bolting windows and stuff boarded up and the stuff that we picked up. That's just common sense. We need to do that.
It is.
Okay.
How long ago was it that it was tendered to have steel on it?
2021.
Yeah. Okay. Would we be advisable to go out to tender to see what it would cost again? I know we don't have the money right now to deal with it, but if we need the money we were looking at, there might be some wiggle room in the budget.
Maybe we could get personally, I wouldn't go to tender, but I'd get like a ballpark from somebody, maybe.
I don't, forgive me, I don't see the point in even doing that. We don't have the money to do anything anyway, and by the time we get to that point, that price would be changed dramatically. But I do think that we have enough on staff that perhaps we could look at tidying it up, like even the black letters are starting to break off and fall down at this point. It's unfortunate that it's gotten to this point, and I agree with you. We do eventually need to look into it, but I just don't think we have any money this year.
I think you're wasting money to hire someone to take the siding off, but if you're not creating two completely separate projects.
Yeah,
One project tied all together, you're gonna get a better deal on
you think so?
it.
I'm disappointed that what we were working on before didn't go forward, because we had the funders interested, and I think it would have been a really fantastic project for down there. So, but maybe it's still in the back pocket there somewhere.
If at first you don't succeed.
That's right. Let's keep trying.
But I know the siding on the front of the building as well, like last year, that was repaired by Public Works, and then it ended up getting taken off again by the weather. So unfortunately, it was in good shape at the time, now it's not.
Yeah.
Right? But I do agree that we're not in a position to consider tendering anything, because it serves no end.
Yeah.
Last year we had some issues with the grass maintenance and that sort of thing down there. Have we got that resolved for this year, and the grass will be maintained down there? Because I think that certainly lends itself to vandalism in that area, because that's a place where people hang out after hours. But if we are showing respect to it by keeping the lawns clean and that sort of thing, and try to keep the garbage picked up on a regular basis, that maybe will help others respect the area as well. If we just leave it all damaged, then no one's going to respect it.
Okay, I'll go to our road super with those concerns. And we'll have a report for you. Okay, moving on past slide 5. The city of Richmond Hill.
Be it resolved that correspondence from the city of Richmond Hill regarding autism support be accepted as information.
Mover and seconder. Robin and Twain. And discussion. Straightforward. All those in favor? That one's carried. The Agricultural Society storage request.
Be it resolved that council approves the request from the Agricultural Society for storage. Further storage will be supplied at, and I don't have location because we'll have the conversation.
Right, everybody saw the email
Yes.
asking to put storage up there. Okay, so a mover and seconder then, Rob and Jen. Discussion.
A while since I read that letter, but didn't they want to take down the
Yes.
large tower as well? So last time I was in that tower, it was in good shape. which is going back quite a few years, but that was during the Manitoulin Pro Challenge that we had on. But there were structural improvements that were made inside that building. And to me, again, that's sort of just portrays the image and the history again of racing in Manitoulin. And that's something that could come again. So I'm not really in favor of tearing that building down at all. I think we should leave it as it is and just find another site that's fitting for the Agriculture Society. And so work with both, basically.
Okay, Jen?
Where else could they put it?
And we've got a large piece of land up there that we can have a discussion with to determine exactly where that footprint would fit.
Yeah, like, can they not just put it right beside it? And the tower stand?
Yeah, there's
That's what I was wondering.
bleachers and stuff there, yeah. I tend to agree with you if it's in good enough shape to save it, and I also think, I don't know who else uses that as storage, whether Lions Club has anything in there, or is it strictly for the use of agriculture? I don't think it looks great to have 50 different little buildings and that sort of thing, but if it's still in good shape, I don't see the point in tearing it down.
If it were structurally sound, I'd say I'd be in favor of it, but I think it's structurally sound, so I think that we just need to confirm that.
Can we have the road superintendent give us a report on the status of the building, and we'll decide on the location of the building. Again, I think there's lack of space there, green space that could be.
The only problem is that they wanted to get it up before June. Like, not gonna get it there, but I think they're buying a building and having it set.
Okay. So they're the ones purchasing the building and location, on the putting in the
Mhm.
location?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the arena manager as well should have some input, you know.
She does in the email, it does say that there was some conversation.
They've had some conversations, yeah.
Again, part of the history of the racetracks and stuff, I hate to see it go, but if it's not cigarette, structural integrity is compromised, then it's a perfect location for a new building. So
What if we did-
I would give you the go ahead, if he says it's not structural sound, tear it down and put a new building. But if we can save it at all, then I think
Find a new location.
there's lots of grass between the two buildings there and features.
Are we all okay with that then?
Yeah.
We'll get a motion for that.
Be resolved, the council approves the request from the Agricultural Society for storage. Further storage will be supplied as long as the structural integrity is sound, and further, if the structure is not sound, then a new location will be found.
I think it's the other way around. But I know what you mean.
Okay.
The motion.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. So mover seconder then, please. Want to hear it again?
Do you want that last part removed?
No, it's just if we're gonna check to see if the building is structurally safe. If it is, we'll find another location for the Egg Society's building. If it's not structurally safe, then we'll tear down that building and have the Egg Society put their building in that spot. And it'll take you 20 minutes to write the resolution, so if everyone's in agreement, we'll just move on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Premise, if
I agree.
that's all right.
Yeah.
Jen and Rob. And all those in favor. And that is carried.
Thank you, Alton.
Okay. The Twisted Sister lease is for the Toboggan Hill is up again, and before we discuss this. If you just want to give them the go ahead to come to make a proposal and come to us, we can talk about that right now. If you want certain things that you want to see in a new agreement, we have to go in camera. So I'm just gonna go around the table and you just tell me in camera or now, Rob.
I always agree in a fair approach to all parties. I don't know if there were other applications at the time. But I'm not opposed to them being there. I think they've done a great job. So
And so the lease actually does say that either party is able to request that the lease just be
to the
extended.
extent, I'm not opposed to that.
Okay, Jen,
I think we should go in camera.
Dwayne,
I have no problem with the way it's written and the current amount of money that's associated with it, as we've discussed through budget, I think it's still on part. but I'd like to see what Councillor Hooper has to say, so let's put it in
Fair
camera.
enough.
We'll just hold that one. And that one will go down here. Okay. Insurance renewal.
Be it resolved that council approves the municipal insurance program and the amount of 83,669.
Okay, mover seconder is Jen and Dwayne. You need to speak to it?
It's up about 3% over last year's premium. But there are some increased deductibles. And they are no longer offering insurance for any fuel tank over 20 years old, which means our tanks at the Public Works Department aren't gonna be covered. And when the ones at the waterfront age out, they won't be covered either.
Do you know the dates on those?
I think we've got about 3 years left down here, but the ones at Public Works were 2003,
Okay.
so.
Any other discussion on that?
So we get a
Questions?
cost to get them replaced, so we're discussing it, because obviously we're on the budget for it at some point.
Sure, we'll get that.
Either that or a notion as to whether they can be inspected for extension.
No, they won't, they just, they're,
Yeah,
20 years and you're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have those fuel tanks.
yeah, risk management.
Any other questions about the insurance renewal? No? All those in favor? That's carried. Okay, Cleanup, please.
Be it resolved that council adopts June 8th to 12th as cleanup week. Further, the open hours at the waste depot will be scheduled. And for hours.
For whatever hours we decide. Okay, mover seconder is Rob and Dwayne.
I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The property standard letters, have they gone out? When do they go?
They normally go out at the beginning of June and people are given it to the middle of July.
And will we be able to get them out prior to cleanup week?
Yeah,
Reasonably speaking.
we probably can, but our normal property standards letters are grass cutting, not debris or, and we're not cutting grass, we're just offering to pick up garbage. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So we can send the letters a week early, but it's not gonna impact on cleanup week.
Just making sure that we were doing the pickup for cleanup, because that was it's a good
Yes.
service for us to offer for,
Yes,
you know,
Yes.
ratepayers that don't have the capacity to do that, particularly the elderly.
You will do it the same way where they phone in and they book it,
yes.
they book it? Okay.
And we divide the municipality into 3 days.
Yeah.
The only real change is we're reducing the number of hours we tracked our users last year over the entire week, and the only real demand is for landfill hours on Thursday. In addition to Tuesdays and Saturdays.
And what are they picking up? What are like just any bulk items? No refrigerators?
We won't pick up anything that there's a tipping fee for. We won't pick up any white good that has to be stamped, free on removal. We won't pick up anything over 50 pounds.
Okay.
And our only real concern is brush. And we'll pick up one pile. We won't, you can't haul the tree in your backyard out and have us remove it. But other than that, it's fairly standard to what we've done in the past.
And
Yes.
do we know when hazardous waste day is? Is Mindemoya holding it again?
Yes, I believe it's July 24th.
July 24th. And we can go in the afternoons normally, I think,
Mhm.
eh?
Wouldn't be allowed to go in the afternoon. Amy contracts them in the morning and the rest of the municipalities go in the afternoon. So I think it'll be the 25th in the afternoon, and we'll advertise that as we get closer.
And when we're advertising the cleanup week, is it possible to remind people that hazardous like paint and that sort of thing
It's not.
is
yes.
not and can be taken on that day? Just because I think a lot of people just throw the paint cans in with their regular garbage, and we need to stop that.
I think they can go in if they're dry, right? Like it's clean. Yeah.
Cleaned,
Mhm.
dry, yes.
The only couple of things I had on that was the hours of operation, because obviously we didn't see much of a use
No.
on certain days in the last 2 years that we had it. I would like to see us actually specifically state a day, a week now, moving forward.
Oh, it's on an ongoing
Yeah,
basis,
because,
sure,
you know,
sure.
this year we needed it early this year because of the amount of brush and damage we had, and we're just getting it up and running now. Another thing is regular tipping fees. There's no regular tipping fees on brush, is that correct?
No, there is not. And we have had instances where tipping fees were charged on brush.
Okay.
Yes, and we are reaching out to those people to reimburse them.
Okay, those are the only questions I have then.
Okay. And are we opening the whole day on Thursday or no,
Fortunately,
4 to 8? Anything else? Good, all those in favor? It's carried. Okay, municipal disaster relief. Assistance.
Whereas the Township of Assiginack recently experienced a flooding event on April 14, 2026, and has experienced incremental operating and capital costs. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Assiginack hereby requests the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing to activate the Municipal Disaster Recovery Assistance Program. Further, that the treasurer is given delegated authority to verify and attest to the accuracy of the attached claim.
Okay, a mover and seconder, Rob and Dwayne. Discussion,
We have an approximate value, yes?
Bills I've been given is about 150,000.
so it's,
Lower than what I anticipated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good.
I'd just like to remind everybody that there's no guarantee.
Absolutely.
No, yeah.
We make the application,
That's right.
we take our chances.
Yeah. Nothing else?
Fingers crossed.
Okay, we have fingers crossed for sure. All those in favor then, and that's carried. And the Geo Park.
Was that added or moved?
Added.
Oh, was added. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Whereas the municipalities of Manitoulin were not consulted nor consented on the planning of the Georgian Bay Geo Park. Whereas Manitoulin collectively opposes being called a deep time zone for tropical seas and will stand alone undeciding on whether it seeks status in any geopark status. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Assiginack Township opposes Manitoulin's inclusion in the Georgian Bay Geopark, and for the Georgian Bay Geopark or to remove Manitoulin as part of the scope of the project.
Okay,
Need a motion?
yes, please. Queen Jen. Discussion,
I had a look at the website. And I know that there's been no presentation to us, and this is the first time I learned about it, other than delving into their website. And even their board representation, the whole organizational component to it. There's not a person from our region on that,
no.
which is interesting,
Mhm.
you know. But anyway, so again, I support the motion.
I would support the motion, but there's a lot of people who on the website who has sent in letters saying that they don't want to be part of it and stuff.
Mhm. I believe they made a presentation to MMA. But I wasn't aware of it, and so we didn't have them come here or anything. Like, I'm in favor of this motion too, I don't want to be lumped with them either, but I got a letter from MMA requesting all the municipalities to, tell them to leave us alone, basically opt out.
Yeah, and their future plan for us looked vague
Mhm.
as well, because it almost said there wasn't a plan, they just want to give us a designation and this, then they're gonna talk to us about what they might want to
Right,
implement in the
yeah,
future,
so
so
we don't
that's,
need to be designated,
no, thank you.
yeah.
Well, in the there's some possibilities of not getting future government funding that we currently get because of the change in designation, and I wouldn't want to see us lose any ability to apply for that.
Mhm. Especially because we weren't proactive on this, like, that would be really disastrous with them.
We're aware of our our history,
Mhm.
our cultural diversities,
Mhm.
our unique attributes,
Mhm.
etc. And we live here.
Yeah, we don't need to be, lumped in with them, just here you are. Yeah, I agree. Okay, anything else? All those in favor then, that's carried. So we have one information item.
Be resolved that the public health separating districts draft minutes of April 15th, 2026 are accepted as information.
And move a seconder. So, anybody? Dwayne and Jen. Any discussion on that? All those in favor? We have some bylaws.
Be resolved that bylaw 2026-16, being a bylaw to adopt a video surveillance policy, be given a first, second, and third final reading and enacted in open council.
Okay, move a seconder. Robin, Jen. Discussion? I think we've been through this already. Okay, all those in favor? That's carried. And next one is purchase.
Be resolved that bylaw 2026-17, being a bylaw to authorize the purchase of land, be given a first, second, and third final reading and enacted in open council.
Move a seconder. Robin, Dwayne. You speak to that? You, okay?
I need a bylaw.
Yes. To purchase. Okay, all those in favor? Carried. And to amend the zoning bylaw.
Be resolved that bylaw 2026-18, being a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw 2024-10, be given first, second, and third final reading and enacted in open council.
Okay, we were seconder. Miss Jen. Dwayne. And we just had a public meeting, so all those in favor? Carried. We will be going in count for in camera and it would be for one item. So 8C will be going.
So we're including the one that we discussed.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be resolved that in accordance with section 239K of the Municipal Act as amended to discuss negotiations that council proceeds to a closed session at 7:34.
Okay, we were seconder. Got Rob and Jen.